You're looking after your sister's kids. My father declared this right after I arrived for a family holiday. I lost my cool. Then you can manage the mortgage by yourself. I cancelled their flights, hotel, and every other expense. They had no clue I was done being their doormat. Hey, Reddit. I stepped off the plane, tired but optimistic. It was December 22nd, and I had just traveled across the country to celebrate Christmas with my family. It was my first real break in over a year. I was hauling 2 suitcases, a backpack, and the burden of every favor I'd done for them over the last 10 years. I should have anticipated this. Of course, the airport pickup was late. My dad showed up in his old SUV, hardly acknowledging me before opening the trunk. No, how was your flight? No hug. Just a grunted put your bags in. During the drive home, I noticed he was unusually quiet. I asked if something was wrong, and he replied, "We'll talk when we get home." That sentence lingered in my mind like a warning. We pulled into the driveway. My parents' house looked unchanged. Decorations were haphazardly strung across the porch. There was a deflated Santa in the yard and my sister's car parked there, even though she lived 3 hours away. That was the first sign something was off. Inside, my mom gave me a polite hug, but her eyes darted past me toward the hallway, as if she was waiting for something or someone. Then I heard it screaming, laughter, little feet pounding on the floor. I turned to see my sister's 3 kids ages 5, 3, and not yet 1 running around in chaos. My sister was nowhere to be found. I looked at my dad. What's happening? He sighed as if it hurt him to explain. Your sister had an emergency. Her husband had a business trip that came up. She left this morning. She'll be back after New Year's. I blinked at the kids. He looked me directly in the eye. You'll be babysitting just for the week. It's not a big deal. Just like that. As if I had flown 1,800 miles to become a live-in nanny for kids I hardly knew. As if I didn't have a job or bills waiting for me. As if I didn't matter. I came here for a break, for Christmas with the family, not this. My mom chimed in from the kitchen and, "Sweetie, you're so great with them, and they love you." That was a lie. The last time I saw those kids, the oldest bit me, and the middle one screamed until I left. I looked around and asked, "Where will you be during all this?" "Oh," she said, barely meeting my gaze. "We're going to Tahoe just for the weekend. We haven't had a getaway in years." I turned to my dad. "So, you're both leaving?" While I was stuck watching 3 kids I didn't agree to look after, he said without hesitation, "It's family. Sometimes you just step up." That's when it all clicked. The vacation I thought I was invited to wasn't a vacation at all. It was a trap. My parents had pulled me in under the pretense of a holiday reunion, when they really wanted a free babysitter. They had already made their plans, packed their bags, probably chuckled about how easy it would be to guilt me into it. I didn't even sit down. I walked to the guest room, shut the door, and stood there trembling. My anger was beyond words. It felt like betrayal disguised as obligation. And this wasn't new. I had covered their overdue mortgage 3 times in the last 2 years. I helped my sister escape a payday loan spiral. I even gave my dad money for car repairs that never happened. They had used me repeatedly, and I let them. But not this time. I took out my phone. I accessed my email and logged into the shared travel account I had set up for the family to make booking easier, because I was the responsible one, the one they relied on to fix their messes. Tahoe hotel reservation cancelled. Flight confirmation for my parents cancelled. Car rental gone. And the best part? Every reservation had been made using my credit card, reimbursed by them, but still in my name, which meant I could legally cancel everything instantly. Within 10 minutes, their perfect holiday vanished. Just like that. Then I opened the family group chat. Change of plans. I'm not babysitting. I'm not staying. I'm done being tricked into cleaning up your messes under the guise of family. I cancelled everything. Figure it out. I didn't wait for a response. I grabbed my bags and headed back to the living room. My dad stormed in, phone in hand, face flushed. "You cancelled our trip. What the hell is wrong with you?" I said it calmly. "Then you can pay the mortgage yourself next month, along with the insurance and the phone bill. Good luck." He began yelling, but I just walked past him. I called a rideshare, booked a hotel room downtown, and blocked the family. This Christmas would be quiet, even peaceful, and for the first time in years, it would be mine. But little did I know, the fallout was just beginning. I woke up in a quiet hotel room on Christmas Eve, sunlight pouring through white curtains, and for a moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. Not the fake kind where you're bracing for a call from a family member needing something, but the real kind that wraps around you like a warm coat. No kids screaming. No guilt trips. Just stillness. My phone had blown up overnight. 22 missed calls. 10 voicemails. Dozens of texts. You really left the kids alone. You ruined Christmas. Selfish. Ungrateful. After everything we've done for you from my sister. Mom and dad are stuck here because of you. The kids are crying. I hope you're happy. No mention of how they treated me. No apologies. Just blame. I put my phone down and took a long shower. I didn't rush. I let the water hit my shoulders like it could wash away years of resentment. Every time I thought about picking up the phone, I remembered the look on my dad's face when he barked, "You'll be babysitting." Like it was a command, like I was just the help. After breakfast, I went for a walk around the city. Families were laughing, couples were ice skating, kids were pulling their parents toward hot cocoa stands. And for once, I didn't feel like I was missing out. I wasn't envious, I felt free. But I learned that freedom often comes with backlash. That evening, I got a call from a blocked number. Against my better judgment, I answered. It was my mom, her voice shaking, not from sadness, but barely contained rage. You embarrassed us. Do you know how it looked to call the hotel to cancel? Your father is humiliated. I stayed silent. She continued, your sister had to drive back from the city with all 3 kids screaming, because there was no one else to watch them. I finally spoke. You mean no one else to manipulate? Silence. I'm not your backup plan. I'm not your bailout. You invited me for Christmas and tried to trick me into parenting someone else's children, so you two could go skiing. I didn't ruin Christmas. You did. Her voice dropped. You've changed. No, I replied. I stopped lying to myself. She hung up, and then there was silence. Not just for a few hours, but for days. No one reached out. No guilt texts, no fake apologies. It was as if I had been collectively excommunicated. Instead of panicking, I smiled, because finally, they understood I wasn't their safety net anymore. 3 days after Christmas, I received a call from an unfamiliar number. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. It was my sister. She sounded different, humbled, tired. I know you don't want to hear from me, she said, but I needed to say this. I stayed quiet, allowing her to fill the silence. I didn't know they were going to dump this on you. I agreed to leave the kids, but they told me you volunteered, that it was your idea. I didn't think to double check. I clenched my jaw. They lied to both of us. Yes, she replied. They do that a lot, don't they? There was a long pause, as we both realized how deep the manipulation ran. We weren't enemies. We were just pawns in the same tired game. She admitted that when she returned, Dad was yelling, Mom was crying, and the kids were confused. I was exhausted. And then I read your text again. Really? Read it. You're right. This family runs on guilt, favors, and silence. She sighed. I'm sorry. It wasn't everything, but it was something. I didn't forgive her right then, but I didn't hang up either. We talked for another 20 minutes about the kids, her marriage, and our childhood. For the first time in years, it felt like she was speaking as a person, not a puppet. Then she dropped something I didn't expect. Did you know Dad's behind on the mortgage again? I stiffened. No, 3 months, she said. And guess what? He already told the bank you'd help him out. There it was. Even after everything. Even after I walked out and left them stranded, he was still telling people I'd save them. Still counting on my loyalty. Still assuming I'd cave. But this time, I wouldn't. Instead, I logged into the joint account I had helped them set up years ago, the one I no longer contributed to but still had access to. I saw overdue notices, bounced utilities, and a new loan in my dad's name with a questionable cosigner me. My hands trembled. He had forged my name. That was the final straw. I stared at the screen, my jaw clenched so tightly it hurt. My dad had forged my name on a personal loan $15,000 taken out just weeks before Christmas. The cosigner line read my full name, address, and the last 4 digits of my social. I hadn't signed anything. I knew what that meant. Fraud. For 4 years, I had been the family's safety net. The one they could count on to clean up their messes, pay their bills, and bail them out of reckless decisions. But this crossed into criminal territory. I could have stormed over, screamed, and demanded answers. But I was done playing their game. Instead, I got a lawyer. The consultation was cold, clear, and efficient. He examined the documents I forwarded, compared signatures, and asked one question: do you want to pursue legal action, or do you want leverage? I replied I want both. 2 days later, I sent an email to both my parents, ceasing my lawyer. The subject line read notice of fraudulent activity. Immediate response required. The body of the email was short and straightforward. I stated that my identity had been used without my consent to obtain a personal loan. I was prepared to file a report with the bank, the credit bureau, and law enforcement, and legal proceedings would begin within 5 business days unless one of 2 conditions were met. 1. The loan is paid off in full and closed immediately, or 2. A written admission of guilt is sent to me and my attorney. No emotion, no threats, just consequences. It took less than an hour for my dad to call. He didn't even try to deny it. His voice cracked as he said, I was going to tell you. I just needed help. I replied, you committed fraud. He stammered, we're family. Exactly. And you treated your own child like an ATM. He began pleading, saying the bank would come after him, that he couldn't afford a default, and it would ruin him. I'm not trying to ruin you, I said. I'm showing you who I am now, someone you don't get to use anymore. He asked if there was any way I could drop it. I told him yes. After the loan is paid, I want a signed statement from you and Mom agreeing to the following. You will never use my name, credit, or finances again for any reason. You will not contact my employer, friends, or any future partners asking for favors, and you will never involve me in your financial problems again. 1 violation, just 1, and I will go to the authorities. He didn't respond. So I added, if you don't agree, I'll go now. This call is being recorded. That's when he broke. He muttered something like fine and hung up. 3 weeks later, the loan was paid in full. I received the bank statement, notarized, along with a document signed by both of my parents, agreeing to my exact terms. My lawyer filed it away as if it were just another day at the office. But for me, it was the day I became untouchable. The fallout spread rapidly. My mom didn't speak to me for months. She sent one long, bitter text filled with half-hearted apologies and accusations of me going too far. I didn't reply. My dad tried to call twice, but I let both go to voicemail. My sister was the only one who truly understood. She called me one night after things settled and said, I wish I had done what you did years ago. We talked more often after that, not as therapist and patient or savior and victim, but as two adults finally realizing they were raised in a system of guilt, fear, and silent debts. She even mentioned plans to move out of state somewhere quieter and healthier for her kids. I told her I'd help her find a place, but not do it for her. This Christmas, I'll be spending the holiday in a quiet cabin up north, just me, a stack of books, a fireplace, and snow falling in a place I paid for myself. There won't be any screaming kids, fake emergencies, or guilt, just peace. Because I finally learned that sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is walking away. And that was the Christmas I finally gave myself the peace I deserved. Let me know what you would have done, and don't forget to like and subscribe.